YouTube, fight fans all over the world. It's your boy, Real Talk Boxing. We back again. Mike Tyson recently commented on the latest interview of Deontay Wilder. And his response was, hey, it's part of the process. Everything will be okay. Now, what I think Mike Tyson meant by that is it's part of the process to make excuses when you lose. Now, excuses are for a particular type of person. Excuses are not for winners. I mean, that's a given. You don't make excuses for winning, right? Excuses are for people who lose. Excuses are for losers. It's the nature of the beast. You know, when Mike Tyson first lost against Buster Douglas, you remember that? Back in Tokyo. I remember that as a kid, hearing about Mike Tyson losing, and I didn't believe it. I was very, very young. And when I heard the Mike Tyson log, I was like, yo, it had to be fixed. Somebody paid somebody off. Had to be fixed. But in reality, it wasn't. Now, you can make an argument that Mike Tyson really didn't lose that fight because Buster Douglas may or may not have gotten a long count in that fight. Let's just talk about that fight right quick, and then we'll get to your favorite fighter, not mine. Okay, Mike Tyson, I honestly don't remember him making a ton of excuses. Definitely not as many as Deontay Wilder when he lost against Buster Douglas. I can remember him being interviewed saying that, hey, man, he's not the champion. If you guys think he's the champion, then so what? I'm still the champion. It was almost like he was in denial. But let me just give you guys everything that was stacked against Mike Tyson during that fight. Because Mike Tyson could have made a buttload of excuses. He made some, but he didn't make a lot. First of all, this was in the point of Mike Tyson's career where he was really, really messed up, y'all. He was going through some stuff. And it was reported that he was having orgies the night before the fight, that he was doing drugs. And I ain't talking about drugs to enhance his ability. I'm talking about crack, cocaine, whatever drug you can think of. But it definitely wasn't performance enhancers. It definitely wasn't that. And then on top of that, the night of the fight, he had a corner that was so amateur and so ridiculously ill-prepared, it wasn't even funny. They had no ice, no inswell. I remember the dude with the freaking rubber glove blown up with cold water in it, and he had it on Mike Tyson's eye. This is what Mike Tyson's eye looked like. You know, kind of like Daniel Dubois did last weekend. No disrespect, Daniel. It happens, bro. It happens. But he had a fat eye. All of this stacked up against Mike Tyson, and he still almost beat Buster Douglas. Do you want to know why Buster Douglas won that fight? I know I'm getting a little bit off subject, but I'm just going to explain this. Does anybody know why Buster Douglas won this fight? Buster Douglas had just lost his mother. He didn't care. All his fear was gone. He was ready to die that night. One of the most dangerous fighters in the world is a fighter who's not afraid. That's a scary thing. When a fighter is truly not afraid, don't care, whatever, I don't care, I'm ready to die. Buster came in shape. Buster had nothing to lose, everything to gain. And Buster Douglas in shape and ready would have beat any of the heavyweights at that time. A Buster Douglas who's in shape and ready would have beat any heavyweight in that area at that time. And if you don't know, Buster Douglas wasn't supposed to be his opponent. It was supposed to be Evander Holyfield. Some of y'all didn't know that. Because who was Buster Douglas' next fight? It wasn't against Tyson. I think Tyson had went to prison, but it wasn't against Tyson. Maybe or may not. He may have been in prison. I don't know. Anyway, regardless, Buster Douglas' next fight was against the person who was actually in line before him, Evander Holyfield. And he came in fat and out of shape and got done up, got his lunch money took. But Buster Douglas was ready to die that night, and he did not care. And he beat the brakes off Tyson. Very competitive fight, don't get me wrong. And there were times and spots in that fight I saw Buster Douglas wanted to quit. I've watched this fight I don't know how many times. I have it memorized. Just like I got the last fight scene of Rocky IV memorized. Still in my head. I can replay it for you right now. But Buster Douglas was ready to die that night, and he didn't care. He didn't fear Mike Tyson. And he got Mike Tyson at a vulnerable state. And Mike Tyson had a ton of leverage to have a ton of excuses. And they were valid. Way more valid than Deontay Wilder's. So he knows that Deontay Wilder is making these excuses. And he's saying, man, it's part of the process. It's what we do. But excuses are just what they are, excuses. And I commend Tyson for reacting to the question like he did. Hey, man, it's part of the process. We've all been through it. We all know what's going on with Deontay Wilder. Maybe he doesn't know what's going on with Deontay Wilder. He's still trying to, come up with why he lost in his head. It couldn't have been Tyson Fury. Something had to be wrong. It was wrong. Something was wrong. And it was that 7-foot, 271-pound dude in front of you who got pillows for hands, who don't hit hard. But you don't want to admit the fact that he hit you with something and he hurt you with it. We talking about a fighter who can't punch, right? Pillows for hands. I don't care if a fighter doesn't have a powerful punch. When you're 7 foot, 271 pounds, you don't have to punch that hard. Your body mass alone, the momentum of your body will knock a horse out. And he felt that because the first fight, he fought a depleted, skinny, not really in fighting shape, Tyson Fury. And still in my eyes got beat. Mike Tyson knows it better than anybody because Mike Tyson has been in Deontay Wilder's position before. Well before. And I agree with what he says. Hey, man, it's part of the process. Low key, we all know he lying. So, it's just part of the process. Mike sees it, but there's still some people out there who don't see it. But that's cool. That's cool. I'm just wondering who Deontay Wilder's going to fight next. Because I can guarantee you it will not be Tyson Fury. He's got some people, on his hit list. Who did he say? Ruiz, Dillian White. Who else did he say? Some dude named Hanilius. I don't even know who that is. And I can guarantee you that's probably who he's going to fight. The one you don't know who he is. That's probably who he's going to fight next. If he's going to fight at all. And I doubt that too. Never mind my opinion. I want to know yours. Comment down below and let me know what you think about Tyson saying, hey, man, it's part of the process. Everything will be all right. What do you think about that? Till the next time, man, respect all, fear none. God bless. Real talk boxing.